absolutely incredible. I am in awe that I am standing here. I'd like to thank the committee, start by thanking Bill Hay and the committee for not only considering us, but believing in us and accepting us, and understanding that we love the game just as much as the men do. Thank you. You're changing the face of women's hockey alone by accepting us into this prestigious club. I've had an amazing weekend already, and very nervous for this speech, but I'm realizing that it's the hockey world and it's family. Hockey is a game that's been a part of my life since I remember. I also want to congratulate my other fellow inductees. The late Doc Seaman, had a chance to meet his family this week, son Bob and his brothers. And the greatest thing I think that I've read about him is all his accomplishments, as everybody says, what a great man he was. And that's the best compliment you could get. Jimmy Devellano, you've seen Detroit and what a class act they are, and what a team that strives for excellence. And in spending some time with you, it's easy to tell that you were a part of building that. Dino, number 20 for the North Stars, the arch nemesis of my favorite team growing up, the Blackhawks. I've seen you many times score goals against the Blackhawks and not like it very much. I was unfortunately part of those chants that they had in the Chicago Blackhawks stadiums and the Dino dolls hanging from the rafters. But you know what? I talked to my dad the day after the first day we were here, and I met you. I said, Dad, you know what? He's really cool. He's a cool guy. So thank you. It's been really nice to get to know you. Angela, facing off against you year after year, there were times when I'd get on the ice and I'd see you and I'd say, not again. Can I just play a shift without her on the ice? I'd have the puck a little bit more. And there was one time I remember in particular, I finally beat you on a face-off. And I turned around and I felt the stick across the back of my legs. I said, she did not like that I beat her. But I admired the way you played with such fierce competitiveness and the presence you had on the ice. I've never met another player that I played against who had such a presence on the ice. Since I got the call back in June, I've had time to reflect on my hockey career, and I've looked at the game deeper and my journey deeper than I've ever looked before, and it's been really fun to go back and look at my past and my childhood. It was mentioned in the video, it was my dream to play for the Blackhawks. My son's waving. Hi, sweetie. We had season tickets, and that's what I wanted to do. That was the team I wanted to play for. I had the same dream as my brothers, and I didn't really know I was any different. I remember the days in the basement playing hockey with my brothers. We had mini sticks and a tape ball. We turned field goals over into our nets because I didn't have mini hockey nets at the time. Played some intense games down in that basement. And the one rule was you don't tell Mom. And I remember sometimes getting hit pretty hard and running up the stairs, and my brother, no, don't go. And I'd just sit on the stairs and just take a breath. I'd wait till I felt better, and we'd go back and play. Those were some of the greatest memories for me, playing down in that basement. It was the Blackhawks against the North Stars, or Team USA against Russia. Playing boys hockey for me was really fun. I never thought anything of it. It was when other people pointed it out or when other parents pointed it out and made a big deal of it. I was just a hockey player. There was a time I played on a team, many teams with my cousin Bobby, and there was a time we were in a tournament in Edina, and our coach overheard the other coach say, I want you to hit the girl on the first shift, take her out, she's number 21. So our coach came to the locker room and he said, Bobby, you're number 21 today, you're wearing Cammi's jersey. So Bobby, you're here tonight. You weren't a very pretty girl, but I thank you for that. And I had great memories playing with you along the way. Bobby ended up marrying my best friend. This is how the hockey world works, Amy. And Amy's a Granato now, so this is great. Grew up with her from first grade on, and now she's in our family. There was another time we played a tournament in Kitchener, and we billeted with the Kitchener team. And this family took me in, even though girls weren't supposed to play boys in this province. And they were very, very nervous. I entered the tournament as Carl, so I could play. I was Carl Granato. And they were worried that maybe he would get kicked off the team, and maybe that he would get obviously in trouble for having me billet at his house. But they took me in anyway, so I want to thank them. And I think the reason they did that was they just saw me as another hockey player, and they just wanted to, allow me to be a part of that. And I appreciate that. I was 15 years old when I was having a talk with my mom. I clearly remember the day. And I realized that my dream of playing the NHL might not come true. The boys were getting a little bit bigger than me. I was going to make that next step from bantam hockey to midget hockey. And I realized that I wasn't able to do it. It was just too physical. And I remember running to my room after we talked and just crying, just absolutely crushed that my brothers were allowed to take their dream further and I wasn't. So there was 2 years where I didn't play hockey. I played other sports to try to fill the void, but nothing ever made me feel like it did when I was on the ice. My mom got some information that there was college hockey out east, so that was a good news for me because I had no idea that women played hockey at a higher level. And I remember getting the pamphlet in the mail. Someone sent me a statistics of the Providence Friars, and Cindy Curley was at the top of this list. And I remember saying, she's my first female ice hockey idol. I want to meet her, I want to be her, I want to go to Providence College and score as many goals as her. And I truly believe, had she been 5 years younger, she'd be the U.S. player standing up here today. She dominated in women's hockey. I think she had something like 21 points in her first Women's World Championship in 1990. So Cindy, thank you for being a role model, a leader, and it was a pleasure to play with you. When I look back at my national team, U.S. team career highlights, I obviously think of Japan in 1998. There's nothing like winning an Olympic gold medal. We had an amazing team, great team chemistry, and it was one of the most special things I've ever been a part of. But there were also days in Lake Placid, New York, in dorms. We were hanging off payphones, living with 3 roommates, and just laughing it off and having a great time because we were playing a game that we loved. One of the most memorable trips for me was in Harbin, China. It's one of the coldest places on earth. It was so cold, we were in practice, didn't even want to move because our faces were so cold from the breeze when we'd skate. We cracked a puck off the crossbar, broke right in half. That's how cold the arena was. We played that night against China with a 5,000-seat arena. I think 5,000 people were smoking. There was a big cloud over the arena. They weren't really happy with the refs, so they were throwing glass on the ice. The refs were shoveling the glass over to the side of the rink, and we kept playing with glass on the ice. It was a crazy night. We had 72 shots on net, and we only won the game 2-1. That's where the Great Wall was coined. The phrase was coined for the Chinese goalie, because she was unbelievable that night, but a very memorable night. I remember going to the Great Wall of China, looking at one of my best friends on the team, Chris Bailey, and we looked at each other. We're staring out on this magnificent wonder of the world. It's just miles and miles of this beautiful view. And we looked at each other and we just shook our heads and couldn't believe that hockey had brought us to this place. We were so thankful for that. I want to thank USA Hockey for those opportunities. Had a wonderful career playing, and I was so thankful for all the times that we had as a team and for all that support. Thank you. Walter Bush, you're here tonight. Thank you and others for pushing to get women's hockey in the Olympics. You made our dreams come true. And you look at the journey and the coaches that have helped me along the way. So many great coaches. Greg Lepaka from my youth. Les Lawton, who's here tonight. My favorite coaches to play for from Concordia. Les, thank you. You taught me not only to have fun in hockey, but you taught me to play defense too, and I appreciate that. I want to thank Kelly Massey from the Hall. Kelly, it's been such a pleasure working with you over the last 3 months. You've made things so much easier for us, and I know how hard you've worked. Thanks for taking all my crazy phone calls. Jeff Denemy from the Hall and all the work you've done. Scott Morrison, the head of the committee, and all the committee for just believing in us. There's one person I want to thank in hockey. It's Wayne Gretzky. I was in awe of what he was as a hockey player when I was younger. Obviously, because of his greatness on the ice. But when I got to meet him off the ice, my brother Tony was a roommate of his when they played together in Los Angeles. He was a nicer guy than he was a hockey player and a class act. And Wayne was a big supporter of women's hockey when we came to the forefront in the Olympics. And he was always behind me. And he came to one of my events to support me and to give an award out for our team. And I never got to thank him. And I regretted it year after year after year. So Wayne, this is my chance to say thank you. Lastly, I want to recognize my family. My Uncle Bob and Aunt Shannon, who are here. So much a part of my childhood, the sleepovers with my cousins at your house, playing hockey on the frozen pond when it was cold enough. Mom and Dad, we had the ultimate childhood. You gave us so much. You instilled the good in us. And the one thing that I realized when I look back on this is you gave me a chance to play. People told you were crazy for letting me play hockey. Why should you let your girl play hockey? She should take figure skating lessons like you signed me up for. You listened to me when I asked if I could play, and that is so big, and I'm so thankful. I love you guys very much. My siblings, who are all here, Tony, Donnie, Robbie, Joey, and my sister Christy. Thank you. I had a wonderful, wonderful childhood, and it's so fun when we all get together. Such great memories. Guys, you pushed me so much as an athlete. You brought back all the great training tips, and I don't know, you paved the way for me. There was a path because you guys had it there. I was born into it, so thank you. My nieces and nephews who are all here, thank you for sharing in the journey. You were the first guys I saw when I got off the bus in Salt Lake after we had lost the gold medal and we were devastated. And I'll never forget the looks on your faces. You were just waiting to see if I was okay, and you all hugged me. I still have the picture in my house. Thank you guys for that. Matt and Landon, my stepsons, you're such a big part of my hockey, or my family now, after hockey. Matt, who's here today, Landon, who can't be here, he's playing, forging his own career in hockey. But thank you guys, and thank you for being such great big brothers to Reese and Riley. My husband, Ray, the game of hockey brought us together, and I'm so thankful for that. We're an amazing team, and we've forged some great years already. I love you. Reese, my 10-month-old, who's at the hotel right now, hopefully sleeping. Just want to make sure I mention him. Has no idea what's happening except that his mom's gone a lot this weekend. He's not very happy about that. Riley, my 3-year-old, keeps waving. Buddy, I'm so proud of you. Mommy loves you very much, and I have so much fun playing with you every day. We play mini hockey sticks lots. He's down there playing with his hockey guys on the floor already. He's got that passion already. Robbie, my brother, once told me, shoot for the moon, because if you miss, you're going to hit the stars. Well, Robbie, tonight I hit the moon. Thank you.